being on your feet sometimes 12 to 15 hours a day has its toll on your body. And finally caught up with me. My left hip was the first to go, I assume because I'm a lefty. It's funny, if I was moving, I could walk for a few miles, no problem.
You got tonight's party?
It was when I was in the kitchen expediting, and my range of motion was limited. So when I found myself standing in one spot, that's when it hurt the most. The pain, I think, definitely limited the amount of time I can spend in the kitchen for probably a few reasons. One, I felt the longer I was on my feet, you would alter your position to alleviate some of the pain from your hip. And the next thing you know, your back would be sore.
He was just kind of frustrated with it because he felt like it was really slowing him down. Getting into bed and out of bed, the hip would get caught kind of, and it was really just bone on bone. It was pretty bad.
As it gets worse and worse, the hip pain, you would think lying down would be great, but it wasn't, because you would make any kind of sudden movement, sometimes lying down, and a bone would hit the bone. When you don't have any cartilage left between between the two bones, and that bone hits the bone, it's like, poof, you're jumping.
Hey Jeff, how are you? Dr. Cohen, nice to see you again.
All right.
How's everything? We want to know from patients, what is your goal? And so if a patient says, well, my goal is to get back to running 5 or 6 miles a day, that's not something that we're going to do a hip replacement for. We want to take people from being in a pretty debilitated state and get them back to having a great quality of life, which would include exercise, but not necessarily high impact exercise.
So Jeff, I'm going to go ahead and hang up your x-rays here.
So in Jeff's case, the first thing we asked him to do was to try to lose a little bit of weight, and he was able to drop about 7 to 10 pounds prior to the surgery, which is helpful for him and it's helpful for the surgeon.
I liked his personality. I just felt really, I felt he was very competent, but I also felt confident with him. And you could tell he really cared. And that meant a lot. I already had the patients that said he's a great doctor, a great surgeon, but you still want to get to know the surgeon, and I hit it off. And then at the end of the day, he gave me his cell number, all his contact info. Nobody likes surgery. I'm probably the biggest chicken you'll interview. And so I was not going to rush to go under the needle or under the knife. And like I said, it was, if I could only take it back a couple of years, I would have done this 2 years earlier.
He handled it so well. He really wasn't in too much pain. I mean, I think it surprised him.
When it comes to pain, I'm not a happy camper. And I think the biggest surprise was I handled it pretty good. There was no tears, no screaming, no crying. And I think the pain was actually kept to a minimal. All right, it is Friday, no, it's Wednesday, 1 week after my surgery, and a little sore.
Super close.
I got a couple Percocets in me. Let me go backwards, this is not the film going backwards.
Don't run into that thing, please.
1 week after surgery, and still I need a cane or a walker, but it feels good. A month ago, we had the Breeders' Cup horse racing, the World Cup of horse racing in San Diego. And, you're talking about 5 months after surgery, I was walking between 22 and 25 flights of stairs a day, between 6.5 to 7.5 miles a day of walking. And no, it was fine. No pain, no discomfort. One thing I did notice is after the surgery that I don't have back pain. I don't have, the pains that you had for compensation kind of went away.
It's a real privilege in life that I've been given to be able to help people and get them back to be able to do the things that they want to do. And watching him in his own element was absolutely fantastic.